I'm Ayokunle Odeleye, and I'm working on a public art project for the county of Rockland, New York, near the Hudson River Valley area. What I'm designing and actually building out of stainless steel will be two 16-foot high sculptures. And what you see me doing here is really just working out the drawing of how the profile will look, and I'll eventually develop the other views of it. I've done some initial sketches that led me to come up with the model. And I'm figuring out scale and measurements. What you see here is a digital drawing that I did for the client to give them an idea of what the two sculptures will look like in this park. This is a town called Spring Valley, and this is a heavily used park in a town that is heavily diverse in terms of its population. And so what you see here are the two sculptures, how I've proposed their positioning, with a 6-foot person standing in front of them. And following the digital image and initial sketch, I developed a model that you see here. This is a wooden maquette. This gives me an idea of what the form looks like, and also gives the client an idea of what the finished form will look like. This will be stainless steel mounted on a concrete pedestal. And these faces that you see, these are actually going to be bronze and aluminum cast masks that will be adhered to the stainless steel body once the journal form is done. And these masks are making reference to the diversity of the population in the Spring Valley community. On the side, what you see here are decorative motifs that come from, they were influenced by some of the designs that I got from my research on some of the indigenous native peoples that lived in the area. So we're actually going to put some of their patterns on the side form. Both sculptures generally are trying to represent the diversity and the variety of cultures and individuals that make up that area. And so these pieces are like gateway pieces to this park that the entire community uses. My charge is to refine the drawing, build the skeleton form, and ultimately fabricate these two stainless steel 16-foot forms in my shop. We'll come back later and cast bronze images that will also be a part of the overall design, and then we'll transport them to Rockdale County, to the town of Spring Valley, and we will install them. So this is the initial process of what I'm primarily doing. This was the initial model that I created for the project, and I've developed a second model out of plasticine clay that defines the form a little better, and is actually what we are using as a pattern for actually building the sculpture. So this was the initial first idea, but we have evolved the form in a little more detail in the clay that you see. So this is the drawing and the maquette for the project. We're at the stages of just completing the skeleton of the first form. There are two of these. We start with a two-dimensional structure, and then we extrude it into the third dimension using half-inch round bar stainless steel square tubing. The sculpture will be completed totally in stainless steel metal when it is finished, and it will stand 16 feet high. And as I indicated, we're building two of these. So this is the most developed one, and if you move around to that one, you can see the side view where that's still more in the two-dimensional stages of the design at this point. And we're just going to start on this in terms of developing it, developing the form much more three-dimensionally. Once we have finished the skeletal work, we will cut stainless steel sheet and form it and cover the entire work. And then there'll be some cast aluminum and bronze images that will actually be adhered to the upper part of the chest of the form when it's finished. It will be mounted on concrete with a number of decorative elements in the concrete foundation as well. So that's basically where we're starting with the project. These are clay faces that are going to be cast in bronze and aluminum. What we're doing, we're putting a very watery layer on, which is very important because this watery layer is going to pick up every single detail, every scratch in the clay. I generally like it a little thicker, but we're just starting now and anticipating the trigger of the plaster to start setting. But we've got really good molds here. Nice, clean, negative impressions of the images, as you can see. And the next step will be to melt wax into them to come up with a wax positive. And then from the wax positive, we'll do a resin bonded sand. And the resin bonded sand will be the container to hold the liquid bronze for the casting process.